Yes, welcome to the South Australian Sports Show as Barry Curtin tries to adjust his chair onto the bench so he can get ready to rock and roll. We have plenty. Southern Footy League coming up. We've got rowing, we've got cycling, we've got softball. A couple of Australian reps involved in those sports have been good enough to come into the studio and give us their time. It was an interesting weekend in footy here for the South Australian teams. The SANFL is a great place to watch footy at the moment. Let's start with the AFL. Port and the Crows. Have you seen the week?
Well, both teams, both SA teams have not beaten anybody above them on the ladder.
Very clever. Okay, Port's of course sitting on top of the ladder. No one for them to beat. Crows haven't beaten anyone because everyone's above them. You're not enjoying that very much at all, are you?
Well,
all right, let's have a quick talk about the Crows because
it's
it's been a really difficult period for them. And I think the game against Essendon that they nearly won, everyone thought, gee, they're starting to show some improvement. Then they meet the second last team and them being last, and North Melbourne blow them out of the water. So I've got a bit of a theory and I just want to pass it by you. I'm not taking sides either way, so I don't think that. But I saw it once before. Teddy Whitten in his last game, lap of oval around the MCG, South Australia v Victoria. Neil Curley was in the rooms before, came out of the rooms and said to Graham Corns, and Curls is the greatest competitor I've ever met, said, we're going to get whacked in this game. We haven't got a chance. Because of the emotion that was stirred up in the room by Teddy Whitten.
I can remember that.
Majak Daw comes back after 700 plus days of not playing footy. I know North Melbourne had 14, 15 players out injured and the Crows had some key players out as well. What do you reckon the change room was like for North Melbourne coming into that game on the back of him coming back to play? And he's meant a lot to that footy club. Is that the difference in the
That's
game?
How their room
and I know that was a big loss, but I'm sensing you can't put a measurement on that. And it happens rarely, but I reckon that's where it struggled most for the Crows. You can't match that emotional run. You can't get it.
An up room.
And it can only get it off the back. You know, sometimes the coach can motivate him, he can get him up, and he can get him up a little bit, but this is raw emotion that you can't tap into. It's either, and it comes normally once in a lifetime, we've seen it twice now, and you go, is that the reason? Or not enough?
I think it's
or not
there.
enough?
I think it's part of it, for sure.
I think it's a big part.
Their room would have been up. So up, it's not funny.
Well, I mean, I was up as a supporter.
Just looking
for Daw.
at it.
You know, I wanted him to go well.
I
wanted the Crows to win, but I wanted him to play well.
You want him to play well, and that's fair enough. I think, Adelaide are talking a lot about confidence and things like that. I think, you know yourself, mate. If you're 0-8 or 0-9 or whatever, you're not winning a game. You can talk all you like, but in the back of your mind, you're not as confident as you should be.
Yes.
And it's very hard to motivate, very hard to, we're okay.
There's no belief.
You're not okay.
You've got to win to get belief.
Of course you do. So their big chance is the game against Melbourne.
We'll see. We'll get a better gauge.
But you know what's happened there? Port flogged Melbourne.
So will Melbourne
now all
respond?
the talk is about Melbourne.
Yes, Goodwin's under the pump and all that.
Will they respond?
Well, let's not talk about Melbourne. Let's talk about Port Adelaide because they're playing some unbelievably good footy at the moment.
Well, they played one quarter of footy against the Bulldogs, who are a pretty good side, and won. So I think that shows a lot for their resilience. So that because they looked flat in that first half, coming off 4-day break. Other teams are going to cop this as well, but they did look flat. But they played a really, really good third quarter, and it was good enough to get them over the line. So, there's a lot of talk about a lot of teams for the flag this year, but not a lot of talk about Port Adelaide.
I've been amazed how that has chopped and changed. Anyway, we need to get off and running, mate. International Scoreboard coming up next. Stay with us. There is a mountain of sport to come up.